In 1986, I was privileged to work with Big George Foreman, the two-time heavyweight champion of the world. I produced a documentary on him called Winner by Decision, George Foreman. He later went on to recapture the heavyweight championship of the world at the age of 45. It was incredible. But in his biography, God in My Corner, he tells a really interesting story that I want to share with you in your morning cup of inspiration. An elderly woman was asked what her favorite Bible verse was, and she didn't say John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth on him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. And she didn't give Romans 8:28, and we know that all things work together for good to them who love God, to them who are called according to his purposes. Those are great verses. She actually gave just a little piece of a verse that's actually found in Deuteronomy chapter 28 of Deuteronomy, verse 1. And the first 5 or 6 words are, and it shall come to pass. It's not even a full sentence, but that's her favorite verse, and it shall come to pass. And when she was asked why, she said, because that applies to everything. If I'm going through a storm, I know that it will pass. It will come to pass. And if I know that I'm believing something in faith and I'm trusting God to do it, it shall come to pass. I can have faith that it will. And that's really a fascinating thing. The rest of that verse goes on to say, and it shall come to pass if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. So that was a promise to the children of Israel. But think about that, and it shall come to pass. You know, there's a story that was written in 1852 by a guy named Edward Fitzgerald, and the name of the story was Solomon's Seal. And in this story, a sultan supposedly came to Solomon, the wisest man in the world, and he said, give me a sentence which holds true regardless of the circumstances, regardless if things are going well or if they're going poorly. And Solomon thought a moment and then said, this too shall pass. So a lot of people think that's in the Bible, that it's not in that phrase, but and it came to pass, or it shall come to pass, is in there over 400 times in the King James Version. So God wants us to think about that, and it shall come to pass, or this too shall pass. Whatever you're going through, whether it's a health problem, whether it's an emotional problem, a relationship problem, hold on to that thought. This too shall pass. And I'm going to leave you with another great verse that's found in Philippians 1:6, and it says, being confident of this very thing, that he which hath begun a good work in you will perform it until the day of Jesus Christ. He's got a plan for you. He's got a work he started in you, and he's going to see it through to completion. So remember, this too shall pass. God bless, and I'll see you soon for another morning cup of inspiration.